Hello everyone and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So before I get into my reading plans, I actually have to make an announcement, and that is that this is the last vlog that I'm filming exclusively in this apartment. The next vlog that I'm filming will be a moving vlog, which will be half here and half in the new place. So this is kind of the end of an era for Tyler and I. We're both super sad to be leaving. We've made a lot of really good memories here, but also ready to be moving on to the next chapter of our life. So it's definitely a weird feeling. So a lot of our stuff is in boxes over here. My shelves are completely empty. So I feel like I'm just living in limbo right now. But anyways, enough about that. Let's chat about my reading plans for this week. So this week I am reading The Great Believers by Rebecca Makkai. This is a very hyped up dual timeline story. It actually was a finalist for the National Book Award, and it was also a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. But this is a story that takes place in both the 1980s in Chicago and also present day. You're following a group of gay men that are all friends, and most of them are being affected by AIDS in some way or another in the 1980s timeline. And in the modern day, you follow a woman named Fiona who is kind of looking back at this time period. So I'm enjoying it so far, although the beginning was a little difficult to get into, but I'm excited to make some more progress. All right, so I put my PJs on. I made some sleepy time tea, which I probably don't need if I'm trying to read at the moment because I'm already tired, but it tastes really good. It's like a lavender one, I think. And I'm going to read some of this book before I head to sleep. Hello guys, it is the next day, Sunday, and I'm just popping in to do a brief reading update about The Great Believers. The Great Believers by Rebecca Makkai. So I have to say the beginning of this book was a little slow for me. Basically, the beginning of this story, you're kind of thrown into this friend group of all of these gay men that live in Chicago. And the very beginning is this memorial for one of them that has passed away from AIDS. And it really introduces you to a lot of different characters at the beginning. So I found that to be pretty overwhelming to remember who is who and who's dating who and what's going on. But this book is doing a great job of really delving into the really important central relationships, and the more I read it, the more I'm getting just like totally invested in it. Another thing I love about this is that it's not just a book about AIDS, it's a book about these characters who were affected by this terrible disease, but you learn so much about them as people. Like the central character in the 1980s plot line is, his name is Yale, and he is an art dealer or like art, I don't know what the right word is. He like owns an art gallery, and there's a super interesting plot line with him trying to get new artwork for his gallery. And I'm not going to get too far into it because I feel like a lot of the story is like there, but it just does a great job of really making you feel for these characters and see who they are as people, not just victims of a disease. So I'm really enjoying this so far, and the more I read, the more I'm getting addicted to it. Other than reading today has been super chill. I don't really have many other plans today, so I think I'm going to make a good dent in The Great Believers. So quick change of plan. We decided to go to Portillo's, which is like a drive-through place where that has like hot dogs, that's their specialty, but they also have really good chocolate cake. So we're gonna head out, try it, and come back because we need to get out of the apartment today. We are going crazy. So we got our hot dogs and my chocolate cake is in there. I will try that a little later. Tyler and I are going through watching a lot of documentaries. So right now we're watching the Ken Burns one about baseball, which we're both struggling with a little bit because the episodes are like 2 hours long, but we're kind of invested now that we've started. So we're gonna watch the next episode. So I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's raining outside and I just adore falling asleep to the sound of rain. So I'm super excited to fall asleep. It's so relaxing. Okay, so I'm in my PJs and I'm very ready to go to sleep. It's like a little bit after midnight. Usually I try to go to bed a little earlier, but I got down this whole like rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to use After Effects. And it's a lot more complicated than I thought. So that's a project for another day. If any of you guys know great tutorials to like put in little like handwritten animations and stuff in vlogs, I would love to know, because that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. If it's in this vlog, I figured it out. If it's not, it'll happen. Just not right now. Anyways, I'm headed to sleep. I will see you all in the morning. Hello friends, so it is Tuesday. My hair is a hot mess because it's raining outside and curly hair props. But anyways, I have not made a whole lot of progress. I feel like I'm either completely addicted to this book or I cannot and don't want to read it. Don't know why. But I did get to page 257 out of 418, so I'm really hoping to actually finish it today because I really want to move on to something else. I feel like I'm dragging it out too long and that's making me not like it, even though I am enjoying it. Like, I'm just making myself not enjoy it. Anyways, I'm going to make myself a bunch of tea and read this book and hopefully get you my final thoughts by the end of today. Hey guys, so I'm just doing some editing. I'm trying to get this vlog up tomorrow, and tomorrow's a really busy day for us, so I'm just like power editing this. But anyways, I wanted to chat briefly about something that we just watched in the baseball documentary, and that is like Jackie Robinson and the, I guess, integration of baseball. And like, I honestly didn't know that much about it. Like, I obviously knew that he was a Black baseball player and that he was a huge figure, but I didn't know like all the history behind it. And like, seriously, like, what an American hero, like taking that much pressure, that much responsibility, that much risk, honestly, at that time, and just like doing it with so much grace. Another thing that like really struck me about it is like Tyler and I just finished watching the Civil War documentary, and then we decided to move on to baseball. And like, the Civil War documentary was just, I mean, in some ways was super interesting because it was stuff that I learned about in high school, but it was also like so depressing that so many people died. Like, obviously the war as a whole kind of united the country over something that was really, really dividing them, which was slavery. But also, like, almost 100 years later, we were still in the position where an African American player was trying to play and was being heckled and just put through crap. And that was just the beginning of the civil rights movement. Like, progress is so slow, but I mean, it's there. Like, if it weren't for people like him, like, I don't know where we would be. But yeah, anyways, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm editing, thinking about that, and hopefully going to do a little bit of reading before I head to sleep. But seriously, like, I would highly recommend watching the baseball documentary, even just like that one episode. I can't remember what it is, but I'll put it on the screen if you guys are interested. I'm just like so inspired. So I'm just popping in to do a quick unboxing and then tell you my final thoughts about The Great Believers because I just finished it. So I got a box from Book Depository and I ordered this like a month and a half ago, and shipping got super delayed, which I mean, I totally understand, but the point is I don't remember what this is, so let's figure it out. So satisfying. Oh, I remember this. Okay, so it is Us Against You, which is the second book in the Beartown series. I adored the first book, Beartown. I gave it 5 stars. I have a review on my channel and a vlog if you guys are interested. But I've been super excited to pick this up, and I'm actually going to be picking this up next week for a quarantine-a-thon. So if you're interested to see my thoughts about this one, that will be at next week's reading vlog. And now I'm going to wrap up this vlog by chatting about my thoughts about The Great Believers by Rebecca Makkai. So I sat down and just binge read the end of this book this morning. It took me about 5 hours to finish the end because there was a lot in here and I really wanted to take my time with it. And I have to say the ending totally changed my view of this story. I think leading up till the end part, I had thought about rating it like a 4-ish stars, but the end just completely blew me away, and the way that all these different storylines were intertwined and everything got wrapped up was just perfection, and I absolutely adored it. This is probably going to be one of my favorite books of all time. Like, the way I felt for these characters is unlike anything I've experienced before. Yale in this book is just someone that I'm never going to forget about. And if you read this book, the scene with Roscoe at the end, I was just like bawling, like I could not handle it. I felt like it did a really good job of taking important things that were going on at the time politically with the AIDS epidemic, as well as like tying that into the characters' personal stories was just so seamlessly and flawlessly done. I originally liked the 1980s perspective more than the modern day, but as time went on, I really started to realize that a lot of the modern day themes were really tying well into the 1980s perspective, and it just fits so well together. And the theme at the end of basically stories going on despite people passing away was just beautifully done. And I think that theme wove its way through the story in so many different ways. So yeah, this is one that I'm going to be thinking about for a long time, a book that I'm going to love for such a long time and not be able to forget about. And I would really recommend this. It was absolutely fantastic. Alrighty guys, that is it for this week's reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoy spending the week with me, and let me know if you would like more reading vlogs. I am planning to do one for next week to chat about Us Against You. So I will see you very soon with another video. Bye.